Ladies and gentlemen, it is 6 o'clock on Thursday. What time that is? Another edition of That's My Story. We approaching episode 6. I'm Terry Midas Hardison, also joined by the legendary Ken Knox and the legendary Brandon Stevens. How you guys doing today?
Great. How you doing? How you guys doing?
No complaints. Just still quarantining as usual.
So you got this shirt on. What's up?
Oh, my shirt. Well, my shirt, without saying too much right away, is just supporting one of today's guests.
Nice.
So I'm representing the you guys see it? The North Carolina Music Hall of Fame out in Kannapolis, North Carolina, which the chairman of the board are members of. In case you didn't know.
Raise your hand, Brandon.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
That's great. I'm excited about today's show, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we thank you guys out there in Facebook land and YouTube land for your devotion, for supporting us weekly. Like I said, this is episode 6, so we appreciate you guys' support. Appreciate you for tuning in week after week. And again, if you don't have Facebook or your friends don't have Facebook, you can go right over to YouTube, check out the chairman of the board on YouTube and subscribe, like it, and you get all the up-to-date content as it is released. Like, share, subscribe.
There you go. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
So we have the UK represented by Karen McBride.
Okay, we got some folks on.
Karen.
Joyce is on. Joyce.
How you doing, Joyce?
Donna Peters.
All right. So folks, drop us a line and let us know where you're tuning in from.
Bermuda's in the house.
Bermuda, right. Okay. Michelle Light is on.
Hey, Michelle.
Down in Myrtle Beach. And feel free to share this, guys, as we're getting started. You can do a watch party or whatnot. Share it to your individual pages, and therefore your friends can tune in. And we all can virtually hang out together. This week, we got a little bit of different twists. We have the son and daughter of two legendary, for one, an R&B singer, definitely legendary, was part of the Drifters. And then we also have another, their mom was a legendary singer, songwriter, and actress. So should we go ahead and bring them on?
Yes, let's do that.
So we have the daughter and son of Mr. Clyde McPhatter from the Drifters, and also Miss Ruth Brown. We have Debbie McPhatter and Ron McPhatter. How you guys doing today?
Hi, everybody.
Hey. How's it going?
Hey.
Good. All right.
It's really nice to be on your show.
Thank you.
Thank
I
y'all for
watch
joining
it
us.
every week.
What I like to ask, I guess, before we get into the music history is, since we've been on lockdown and quarantine, how have you guys been coping, and what have you been up to during this quote unquote lockdown period?
Let my sister go first. Go ahead, Deb.
Oh my Lord!
He's a gentleman.
I was okay. I was okay in March and part of April. By the end of April, I'm crawling up a smooth wall. My suitcase is at the door. My passport is on the table, and I just need to go somewhere, anywhere. I don't even care anymore. I'm going crazy. It's been rough, but for your safety, you try to do what you're supposed to do.
Right. And that's what it boils down to, safety.
Yeah. I talk to myself a lot,
Do you answer?
COVID-19.
I have a lot of arguments myself, but I win a lot too. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. I hear it's okay to talk to yourself as long as you don't answer back.
Thank you. I'm like, what?
So, ladies and gentlemen, Ron McPhatter is also a talented singer, songwriter, producer as well, and Miss Debbie McPhatter. I wore my shirt especially for you today, Debbie. I remember you gave me the shirt.
I have mine on as well. Thank you.
Thank you. You gave me this shirt last year at the Hall of Fame concert we played.
Yes.
Right. So having you on today, I wanted to represent. I wanted to be correct.
You. I really appreciate that. The other people on the show, they have just left me high and dry. Nobody cares.
Oh, and I still got my Yeti thermos as well. So today,
and your cup holder. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah. You gotta have that. So today is a little bit of a different twist. I guess we'll kind of be coming more from the angle of what it's like to have parents that are, legendary. They're known for singing, being with groups, being on TV, doing all of these different things. Even though you guys, especially you, Ron, you're involved with music, but we get a little bit of different angle, what it's like, being in the family.
As a kid, you don't know that's what you're in.
Of course.
Right.
Mom and dad, and what time is breakfast, and go to school, that type of thing. It's just when I got a little older, all of a sudden I started realizing that Uncle Brooke and Uncle Jackie and Uncle Richard were important people. I said, is that little Richard? I guess, then all of a sudden, once I realized, and I was like, wait a minute, my mom and dad, they're some important people, and then you start getting respect. Most kids you don't care what your parents do. You just
They're your parents.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, they're your parents.
As long as you get that new bicycle, that car, whatever you need at the time, as long as you get it, you could care less.
What time? That's all.
I found it to be a nuisance myself.
Oh, well, do tell a little bit before we dissect their backgrounds. Tell a little bit.
Too many people around when I want to spend time.
So that's interesting. Okay.
With given the time that you have to spend with them, because they are constantly going, and it's like, okay, why are these women throwing panties? Why are people jumping up and down, yelling, screaming? I'm ready to go. So the show is over. Let's go. And as you four guys know, you do have to take time to spend with your fans. And to me, it's annoying. As a kid,
that's real.
As an adult, I do understand the importance of it, but as a kid, it was kind of rough for me to deal with that aspect of it. Now, as I got older and started moving about and traveling, that last name of McPhatter has put me in first class when I wasn't in first class.
Some perks.
It has had its perks. Absolutely.
Like chairman of the board.
He had to throw that in there real fast.
You got that. But
it opens some doors,
So,
after a while, you get to be, hey, little Clyde, or hey, little Ruth,
Yes. But times have changed so much today compared to when we were coming up. You never, or I shouldn't say never, but it was harder then to take your family or your children out there on the road with you. Today, people in the business today, they can pack their entire family up and make it happen.
That's very true.
So you do miss, for my era, you really do miss so much important things that were going on that he could not be a part of, or Mama Ruth could not be a part of with Ron. Surely. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So Debbie, did you ever get a chance to go on the road with Clyde?
I did. Yes, I did, and that is the reason why today I am not a singer, piano player, or violin player.
Yeah.
I give all praise to my brother. because he can handle that. I can't, but I can handle the other part of it, the business part of it.
That's important too.
That's important. Oh my Lord, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Brains and looks. I can sing. That's it. Everything else, don't worry about it. I'll handle it. I take care of
it. So
I can make things happen. But being out there on that road, and I'm shy, and a lot of people don't realize that about me.
I don't realize it.
I would never get that, Debbie.
Debbie, you're pulling our leg.
But
no way. But
Debbie let no guys around her too. She's not telling you that part.
Oh yeah.
Don't let nobody smile at her. They're fired. You're out of here.
Wow. That's smart. That's smart.
To answer Ken's question about being on tour with my dad, that did actually happen in Montreal, Canada. He fired the bass player.
Really?
Fired him right on the spot. And I wish I knew his first name was Ian, but I don't remember his last name. I just so wish that I knew today who he was.
Debbie, come on now. There are rules.
You must have backtracked.
I rules, right? So bad for this guy. We just went to hamburgers, and my dad thought that it took too long.
He should have been fired. There are rules. I'm sorry. You don't no.
So St. Catherine's was overlooking where we were staying, and the view is absolutely gorgeous. And so we drove up and around, and as you came off of this hill, I think it was to the left of that was the apartment where we were staying. And that was the end of that. So that was one instance. And then I was in Valdosta, Georgia, and the KKK literally ran us out of Valdosta. And that was the first time I had ever seen that.
How old were you?
In Valdosta, I was probably 15. I don't think I had turned 16 yet. I had a pair of sandals and the buckle broke. And so my dad and I, we were walking through the downtown area. We came to a repair shop, put the sandals in. The guy said about an hour and a half. And so we saw the tour bus coming and the station wagon. We gotta go. And I'm like, I'm not going until I get my shoes. What are you? You can see the torch from the KKK. You could see the march coming towards us. I'll tell you, my dad, he was so pissed with me. I was like, because I'm not getting on that bus. I'm not until I get my shoes. And he's like, oh my God. He's pushing me on the bus. But,
wow.
I just didn't know anything about the KKK.
Right. That's what I was going to ask, if you were familiar with what that was at the time.
Not at all. I mean, I lived at that time, with my mom and Teddy. And I mean, I had white friends. My school, we all went to school together. I just did not know about all of that.
Right, I understand.
So to see it like firsthand, and then you got to worry about somebody paying you, after the gig is over. And I was like, this is not for me.
So that could be some of the things that kind of turns you away from trying to follow in those musical footsteps, so to speak.
Well, on another trip, my dad gets sick. He gets laryngitis. And so the manager, I always sit in the corner table and I'm singing along. And the manager says, baby, you got to get up there and help your father. I was like, I can't. I did. And let me tell you that never.
It's just not your thing, huh?
Never.
Brandon's experienced that. Remember you lost your voice?
Yeah, I have lost my voice. Matter of fact, my first performance with Ken about 8 years ago. I was dealing with a bad cough, and my voice went out in the middle of my first performance with Ken. I couldn't sing for like 2.5 months after that.
Oh my goodness!
It's no fun.
Yeah.
Ron, did you ever travel with Ruth?
Yeah, we did.
Ron traveled with his mother and became a doctor in Japan and saved the life of one of my dearest friends. Yes.
Please tell this story.
We were on a tour in Japan with my mom. I was opening the show, which is how I got started. My mom let me open the show for her. But we went to Japan, and one of the horn players, C.I. Williams, playing him.
What to do?
And I would be standing backstage watching when my mom and him performed. And C.I. had this thing he would do. He would play this long note on his horn. It was kind of a circular thing, and it just went like, you know, and it was like people would go crazy because he held it so long.
Right.
And he was doing that, and he had done it every night. But this one particular night, when he finished, it was just this look on his face. He was almost like he didn't know where he was. He finished, and he was just kind of standing there staring into space. And the band was moving on, but he wasn't. And I'm like, wait, something's wrong, you know? And all of a sudden, Bill Easley, who was the other horn player, he walks up like dancing in the show, puts his arm around C.I. and kind of shoves him off stage. And I realized that, you know, something crazy. And I take him and walk him, and then I realize he's not there, man. He's, you know, the lights are on, but nobody's home. And he's just, we rushed him in. I sat him down, and I didn't speak Japanese or was hard. You know, the lady that was helping the tour, she did a translator. So I was trying to explain to people what was it. They didn't know what I was saying, you know. And I just said, for some reason, something just said, just put ice on him. And I went and got a bunch of ice, packed in a thing, and made him lay down. And I started packing it around his head. Why? I have no idea. You know, he couldn't even. And then the ambulance came. The doctor took him. And they just rushed him off. It was like serious. And he had the same thing Quincy had. It was the
aneurysm.
Yeah. Wow. And it hurt. And the doctor, when he went in, the doctor came out and he said, who put ice on his head? And the way he said it, I was scared. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, I was like I said, I don't know what you're saying. You know, kind of like, who put ice on him? And I just said, I did. He said, well, that's what saved his life.
Wow.
Said, yeah, he said normally 50% die after they have it or right when it happens. You know, God, luckily he just, you know, and I mean, there was nothing except just something. So I just had to do something, you know,
right.
Family.
Right.
You see somebody in stress, you go, wait, you know, I don't know what to do, man. I'm not a doctor. I just, hey, something said
instincts and God and instincts.
That's all. Yeah. And we stayed another 2.5 weeks there while he was in the hospital. The tour was over, but we stayed there until he could be taken home, you know. And when I would see him after that, you know, he would just give me this little wink, like, you know, and thank you. And I'm just like, man, please.
That's awesome, man.
I was just happy to be there for any reason. I was just happy to be going, you know.
Right.
And it was that.
Absolutely. General Johnson and Danny Woods would always tell me that Clyde McPhatter was their favorite singer. Found recently was the fact that he was the king of the falsetto.
Yes.
Elvis Presley wrote that in his book too. He said, if I had a voice like Clyde, I would have had a career. And I was like,
Elvis Presley. Oh, nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wasn't Clyde born in Durham, North Carolina?
Yes, he was.
All right. Yeah.
In the Haytime area of Durham.
Do you guys know what some of your dad's influences were? If there were any singers that he kind of was influenced by, or
no? It was him.
He kind of just him.
Him. Church, just, you know, he just
in the church. That's what. That's what I was gonna ask too, because a lot of gifted singers definitely come from a church background.
Right.
You know, so he. Go ahead, Ron.
most of the singers before him, they weren't hitting those high falsetto notes.
Okay, so he was trendsetter.
Yeah.
Pioneered. Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Next level, Philip Bailey and and Smokey and all these people. You know, there's a lot of these groups too. Enchantment, all of those. Everybody was built around those high falsettos.
I read
original.
Yeah, I read he was an emotional vocalist, and he had one of the most dramatic. He was one of the most dramatic vocalists of his generation.
Yeah, I would say that. I've seen him cry on stage, and even today, like listening to some of the music, I can always tell what frame of mind he would have been in on certain songs that he's singing, but without love.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah. He would shed some tears on that. And Ron, I cry when I listen to my brother sing. And that aggravates Ron. Like he's crying.
Like, Ron, that's a compliment, buddy.
Listen,
it sounds good.
Ron, one of a kind. I met you back at the Hall of Fame, which we'll talk about as well. Taz hits me up and says, "Hey, was Ron in this movie?" I said, "I don't know." And so,
yeah, he's in a movie. He's also a movie star, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And I also came across some information where Miss Ruth Brown also worked with Cab Calloway's sister at Blanche at one point. And she also, did you want to elaborate?
That was her first manager. When she left home from Portsmouth, that's who she went and stayed with. Cab Calloway's Blanche Calloway is who got her singing with the Lucky Milner Band. And that's what Atlantic Records discovered her. Yeah. Okay.
I also came across, she had a working relationship with Duke Ellington was involved.
Yes.
If I can say, you finally grew up, talking about Debbie and you, Ron. You finally grew up, and Debbie, you didn't want to be a singer or entertainer.
No.
But one thing you're one of the best chairpersons of the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I try. Thank you.
Yes.
Can you talk about
Chairwoman.
Well, it's a great organization. It really is, because I never knew that so much talent came out of North Carolina. It's amazing. It's amazing. So we honor that talent, all genres, gospel, bluegrass, beach music, rhythm and blues. Yes, and hip hop. I am proud to say 2019, that was the year to put it in there. And I'm very pleased with that. And we will definitely continue to honor all genres.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's so many. I mean, the roster is incredible. That other people's already in it, such as Andy Williams.
Well, Andy Williams, Kate Smith, Roberta Flack, James Taylor, Ben Folds. I mean, it's just so much. Benny King, Chuck Jackson, Gerald Austin from the Manhattans.
A lot of talent.
Lou Donaldson.
Wow.
Yeah, John Coltrane. These are people that were born here, and although they may have not made North Carolina their permanent home, a lot of them did come back. And so this is what the Hall of Fame is all about. And Ken, on one of the other shows, I was trying to type quick to let you know, George Clinton is from Kannapolis.
I had no idea
where he was from. So it was Kannapolis. Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
I mean, and that is the headquarters for the Hall of Fame, correct?
Yes.
Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Yeah. And so we are right now up in up in the air with the 2020. I can't tell you who the inductees will be for this year because we haven't had the press conference with Governor Roy Cooper. But it's this 2020 year is going to be very, very exciting. We've got some really great inductees coming in. And this year, Midas is going to be a first.
Oh, yeah?
Well. So
okay.
2019 was a first with hip hop. 2020 is going to be another first. So I'm going to tease people a little bit today.
Okay, go ahead.
And just let you know that it's a team. Part of that team is a reality show. So I'm going to drop a little hint with that.
Okay.
Another genre is gospel, and I will say Charlotte.
Yeah, I can take a guess.
A letter, like, can I buy an A?
Maybe a P.
Yeah, I'll buy a P.
Maybe buy a P, please.
Thank you.
Maybe
So that's what we do. And this year I had a concert planned, which would have been a first for the Hall of Fame. That was going to take place in Durham. On that bill was this little known group by the name of Chairman of the Board, Ken Knox.
Oh, we may be familiar with them. Look at Kid.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell, right?
Yeah. So we were using all unknowns for this concert.
Give me just a little more time.
Unknown is Clyde McPhatter's Drifters, featuring Ron McPhatter.
That's right. Yeah, okay.
I'm not familiar with them at all.
I think I heard one or two songs.
Who are these people?
That's awesome, man. That'll be great.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. You know,
yes, indeed.
We got a picture of Ron with his group.
Ryan and Watkins and Larry, my brothers, some singing dudes, man. Yep.
They are totally awesome guys. They really are.
Clyde founded the Drifters.
Before founding the Drifters, he was a member of the group called the Dominoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Jackie Wilson took his place when he left, I believe.
Yeah,
that's what.
Yes.
My understanding is that everybody knew his voice in the group, but they didn't know his face. So they were called, who was the leader of the Dominoes, Debbie?
Billy Ward.
Billy Ward. They would say to my dad, you know, hi, Mr. Ward, because they think that he's the one singing.
Yes.
There's a little disagreement, so he decides I can do this by myself. And when he leaves, Armin Erdogan's came to the club to see him and like, well, where's Clyde? And they're like, you know, everybody's gonna tell their story. He's gone.
Yeah.
Armin was like, okay, see ya. And Clyde real quick. And next, that's how he got his deal and went on with the Drifters. You know, he created it, and he started that with his church group, the Singers. They were the first Drifters to record, but after they recorded, the guys in the band, I mean, in the church choir, sounded similar to my dad, so they wanted a contract, and that's when they went out and got Bill Pinkney, Willie Furby, and the Thrasher Brothers, which are the Drifters, right? That there were just 7 of them that were inducted into the Hall of Fame. So when somebody's running around telling you I'm a drifter or this and that, if they're not,
if they're not that 7, huh?
They're not Clyde McPhatter, Bill Pinkney, Charlie Thomas, Willie Furby, and the Thrashers, and then that's who they deducted and recognized as the group.
And then they came up with the UK Drifters.
Yes,
Treadwell. That would be
Treadwell. Okay.
Yeah.
We did a show with one of the members from the Drifters this past January over in
talking about in the UK, Skegness.
Skegness, right? We did a thing there, and the guy who went on before us, he was a part of the Drifters.
Who Drifters? All I can say, and that's like I said, to keep things positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just am so proud of what my dad created
It's personal to you.
That definitely.
And impersonate and want to jump on the wagon and claim they had something to do with it, or yes, I'm an original. Like, okay, sure. If that's, if you're like an Elvis impersonator or Michael Jackson, there's only one Clyde McPhatter, and he was who he was. That's why my sister and I made sure that the definition was it's the McPhatter name and the next generation. I'd never tell anybody that we're the Drifters. I'm my father's son carrying on his legacy. I'm the next generation.
Right.
We just want to be the best. I just want to be the best. And, this is my heritage.
If they were an original, they would have to be well into their 80s now.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
When you were growing up, did you run into any famous people yourself? I mean, besides hanging out with your dad, when you were older in the working community, did you run across any famous musicians?
I certainly did. Miles Davis. Oh my word, yes. You guys are familiar with the Ed Sullivan Theater in Manhattan. And so twice a week, I would be at the Ed Sullivan Theater. I was a communications major, in school. And so I would go twice a week. And so I lived on Long Island. I had to come through the Midtown Tunnel, heading over to the Ed Sullivan Theater. As I was making a turn onto West 57th Street, I looked in my rearview mirror, and mind you, I was driving very well. But when I looked in my rearview mirror, I see this yellow Lamborghini. Being a single 20-something, maybe 19 or 20, I'm trying to see the face of the driver of this car. And so the public parking lot that's right next to the Ed Sullivan Theater, where you go through the stage door, I pull in, I get my ticket. The guy, they know me because I'm there twice a week. I park, I get in the elevator, push the button, and the door comes back open. And so this bizarre looking man gets in the elevator with his trumpet case. And I'm like, if I had on pearls, I would have been clutching my pearls. Oh my God, I'm gonna get mud. This is not, I had no idea who Miles this was. No idea. And so the elevator stops, I get off the elevator, and I'm like, and the doorman, again, he knew me. He's like, oh, Miss McPhatter. Okay, so you had to sign in. I sign in, get on the elevator, go upstairs. Later on that night, when I came back down, he said, do you know, you didn't know who that was that came in behind you? And I'm like, no. He said, that was Miles Davis, and he asked me about you.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I said, I think I made a fool of myself because I was like, really?
Wow, that's an awesome story.
But the following week when I came back, he waited there for me, and he introduced himself, and he was like, Miss McPhatter, I just want you to know that I love your father's voice. And I'm like, I just wanted to just.
That's great, man.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
And years later, our paths crossed again, and it was just amazing. Yeah. So you again in your travels, I'm always meeting other entertainers that will tell me, your father was a great influence, or I loved your dad's music. And so it's very nice. And so now they tell me, I saw your brother and I love your brother. I love his music. I love his voice. And so don't sit there and acting like it's just going off your shoulders. You're dead.
Tell me all day long. You have no idea.
Well, Rod, you got a little situation of someone famous yourself. You may have had a interaction with.
Oh, okay.
Maybe had a chance to serenade. in a theatrical format.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, the biggest thrill was when I found that they were actually going to pay me. Because I was like, yeah, you can do this. She is a wonderful lady. She was just, I mean, first class, top. I don't even know what to say. You know, everybody was kind of like on edge. Figure, and she just comes in and introduces herself, and it was just like, let's do this. She's a beautiful lady. That's
yes, indeed.
Nice.
Awesome.
I know you want to do that scene over and over and over, didn't you?
I kept messing up.
Hey, that's the same thing I would have done.
Your Brandon would have did the same thing.
Man. Yeah.
Right quick, y'all, before you do something else, a lot of people asking, hey Ron, I need your music. That's Rodney Rayford.
Oh, Rodney wanted I Want Your Lovin'.
Oh, okay.
That song.
Yeah.
How can the people find you, Ron, if they want to check out some of your music or your social media outlets or whatnot?
rondavidmusic.rondavid.com is the website, and all of the music and stuff from there, from Facebook and Twitter, and we have it on Sound Exchange. But if you contact Cherie Ely, our manager, we can get you anything you need right through the website. You know,
nice.
The videos,
there we go.
Songs and stuff. You can see them. You know, a lot of stuff. I did a lot of videos so that I can audition for the chairman of the board, but I can't seem to get their attention.
Well, you heard it here.
Video clip.
We're gonna be adding the fourth member in.
Thank you.
Now you came back out.
Everybody check out that 24 karat right there.
He made that jacket out of moon dust.
Oh, man.
He said moon dust.
I told that after the show. I'm just gonna say I took that suit after the show. That's all.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that was the first night that I met Ron. I had talked to him for years. And Debbie and I had spoke about him for years. When I met Ron, it was like, I've been knowing this guy for 50 years.
Yeah.
Kindred spirits, huh?
Yeah.
Person, you know?
Yeah.
And humble, you know, he says that about me. But he's humble and everything, and extremely talented. To be siblings, the two of you come across like the best people.
Mm-hmm.
I know about Debbie because I see her at the Hall of Fame, you know, at our meetings, North Carolina Music Hall of Fame meetings and stuff, and she's always at the top of her game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why she's the chairperson of the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. She takes that role seriously. Yes. And it shows because, you know what, when we have these events or the inductions, a lot of people love coming there because they're going. It's a great event.
It is.
And you've been there, Brandon. You've been there. It's great. Ron is now saw it. You know, experienced it.
I always joke about my sister and stuff, but she is quite the businesswoman. I mean, like if we're gonna be putting this stuff aside and being serious,
yeah,
which is hard for me sometimes.
Right.
Oh, please.
She's quite the accomplished businesswoman.
Debbie, Tracy,
very proud of her. Very proud of her.
Tracy, Debbie is so shy. Do you know who Tracy Johnson is?
Yes, she's our cousin in Bermuda.
Okay, well, we got Bermuda. She says Debbie is somewhat shy.
Oh, Lord. Wow. Tracy, thank you, sweetie. Yes, somebody.
You would never know, though. You would never know.
Don't believe it, but okay.
Hey,
Rodney.
That's Rodney Rayford.
I'm glad Deb can't sing because I would never get a chance to talk to you.
I was curious, how did your parents meet? Was it the Atlantic Records affiliation that initially how they crossed paths?
You know, that's almost like a family secret. They don't
okay.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah,
exactly.
I noticed.
They were the two biggest stars at Atlantic.
In Atlanta, yeah, I noticed they had that in common, so I just wasn't sure if that was how they started grooming the relationship.
if you look at the Ray Charles movie, you know the Ray Charles movie with Jamie Foxx. He's sitting in the office with Ahmet Ertegun, and on the wall behind him is Clyde on one side and Ruth on the other. They got
King and Queen of
Atlantic Records. That makes sense.
Well, not just the King and Queen of Atlantic Records, but they are both considered the first stars of R&B in the 50s.
Well, see, a lot of people don't know the Drifters sang behind my mom on a lot of her records as the rhythm makers.
Oh wow!
They didn't do that, so they were doing sessions, and she and Clyde did a song "What Love Is Doing" together. You know, a lot of that. Yeah. So
and that White Christmas is one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs, of course. You know.
That's killer.
It's classic. Yes, indeed. I love that. Even that fast ending they do real quick.
Yeah. Jingle, jingle. Yeah.
Love it. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
We have a shout out for Mr. Kevin T. Carter, Sr.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Hey, Kevin.
You know what? Let's read some of these things. Gary Purcell, Ron. Gary Purcell says hello to you.
Listen, you talking about a bad guitar playing somebody. Gary.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. We've done it. That man is bad. He's bad brother.
Okay.
Gary played with us.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm sitting there telling you that. You know. Gary's the truth. He's the truth, man. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys got a question, drop it real fast.
I'm just so happy that Tracy said that I was shy.
That's all you needed.
My element right now.
Yeah.
Gary, he said, when are we coming back to North Carolina? As soon as they let us.
Yes, as soon as we have to shout out Victor Graham and Rhythms Live.
Okay. Yeah, that's all of us.
You ready for us, Victor? Because we're coming.
Yeah.
I have one right here. I need an answer. Gary Heath, we need about the General and Danny while you were doing. Well, guess what? That's coming. That's coming, Jerry Heath.
We had someone comment, said, I can't post a comment because he used a choice word in there, but he said,
not a choice word.
Start doing those stepping songs. My old tail can't stop dancing.
So y'all make sure to follow Ron, and get that music, man. Correct me again if I'm mistaken, Ron. I'd let you do it. Drop your website one more time.
It's rondavid.com.
Y'all make sure y'all go over there and check it out. Buy one of everything.
Now, Debbie.
Yes, sir.
We have some information. Do we have any information for North Carolina?
We do. And as soon as this quarantine is over, please come visit the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame Museum at 600 Dale Earnhardt Boulevard. That is in Kannapolis, North Carolina. And you can visit us on the website at www.northcarolinamusichofoffame.org. We have a lot of good stuff in that Hall of Fame, and come visit.
Yeah, it's a lot of great artists. Again, you'll be surprised what North Carolina has birthed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of surprises coming in the near future about different programs, different things that we're going to try to put together. Everybody just stay calm, have patience. It will open up again.
Oh, yeah. One day at a time.
I had the opportunity to be there when some school kids came.
Yes.
And that's one of the funnest, I love that time when kids get excited about seeing different artists and stuff like that. And I try to tell them about, different ones that I knew about.
Right.
Like Maceo. Macio's one of my favorite players. His saxophone's sitting over there, And so it's a fun time to have the kids come to that museum. And
it's beautiful.
Look at everything.
Yeah, we do. And I go out to different libraries to speak to various groups about music. And it's always amazing to me how people of all ages know that name McPhatter. They get excited in these small towns where I'm a little frightened, like, oh gee, I don't know. And as soon as you walk in and I start the program, they know exactly who it is. They know the music, they know the words, they know more sometimes than I do.
Yeah.
And Ron, I know you've experienced that on the shows that you do. I know we do. Like when we go to the UK, right?
Yeah.
A
lot of the shows we do, they'll actually think I am my dad. They'll come up, they'll say, hey, I loved you guys in Virginia in 1952. And it was a great show, and I loved it. And after a while, I just stopped trying to explain that it's not.
Yeah, just it's easier to swim with the current.
Did you have a good time? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Ron, you've been drinking that holy water.
Yeah, thank you.
That's why you stay so young.
It is, it's working. That's all.
It's a challenge, though, trying to find the right way to cut somebody off. I've heard, you know, on that song, I made my 5th child.
Oh, man.
I don't need MIA.
Wow. The TMI.
Yes, right.
Too much information, right?
It's just too much. I don't need to know.
You know.
But that's the beauty of music, though, because people connect emotionally to it, to a period in their life. Sure. They feel that they need to let you know that because something great happened, due to that music and that particular song. So they would be remiss if they didn't share it with you, you know.
You know what else I get? I get this. They'll say like McPhatter, Clyde, and I say yes. Then they'll look at me and then start to walk. I hope you can sing.
It's in your.
Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
Oh yeah, it's in your genes.
That's it.
You better be able to sing. Like and your mama too. Boy,
yeah.
You don't stand a chance. I'm like, okay.